If you're a frequent PNW Haunts and Homicides listener, you probably already know we're Birdie ambassadors.
We wanted to take a quick moment to tell you a little bit more about this awesome product.
Birdie is the modern personal safety alarm made for women by women.
In a situation where you feel threatened or unsafe, you can simply activate Birdie's loud siren and flashing light to create a diversion.
Birdie is perfect to carry anytime because the device is lightweight and comes in a variety of colors.
So important. Use our ambassador link and coupon code PNW Haunts and Homicides to receive 10% off your purchase. Like our social media handles, the coupon code is all spelled out, no special characters.
You can find the link and promo code in our show notes or PNW Haunts and Homicides link tree.
Have a safe ass day. As indie podcasters, we love to show our support of other awesome shows. So stay tuned for the promo we've got to share with you this week.
Let's show them some love. You can find their info in our show notes.
Hey there, friend. My name's Sarai, and I host a spooky, casual podcast called Freaky AF, where I tell you stories of conspiracies, true crime, and of the supernatural. So if that's your kind of shiz, come check us out. I'm sure we'll be great friends. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, and a bunch of other places. Or you can look us up on Twitter and Instagram. We're Freaky AF Pod. That's FREAKYAFPOD. Come get spooked, y'all.
You guys, we're back.
And don't worry, we did get more wine.
Well, of course. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like we just went through that like really fast. Like we were
Yeah,
on
maybe
2 times speed.
Yeah. That's fun.
It's because we've been sitting here for hours waiting to get started
I
because
mean-
Caitlin is just not together.
Not ours, but I had some very important business things to discuss with you. Not all of it was important enough to text you about, but I've been getting a lot of really odd, miscellaneous little tasks done because I've decided to give up sleeping. Is it Lent right now? It's not, huh? Lent is over.
I have no
I have
idea.
no idea
You're
when it
asking the
is.
wrong person.
I was going to say, I gave up sleep for Lent. Yeah, I think last night I slept a super sweet 6 hours. Oh, drain me.
I need at least 10 to
Yeah.
12.
Oh, okay.
So I'm that person.
No, I'm officially on the same sleeping pattern as my Midwestern grandparents, years old. That's how old I am.
Oh my gosh.
So
Well,
that's where we're at.
that's a little peek into Caitlin's life.
Yeah. I know. Sorry, guys. If you didn't already know this, which how, but yeah, I tend to be a little bit of an oversharer. Sharer.
That's okay. We still love you.
Yay.
I didn't hear anything from the creepy people. I don't know if they agree or not.
Oh, they were the oh. Okay. In all seriousness.
Yeah. It's a Caitlin episode,
Yeah.
guys, so we need to get our somber faces on.
Wow. This is going to be coming out like a few weeks after we record it, huh? Because you have a couple coming up.
Yeah.
Cassie
2-3 weeks from now.
really wanted episode number 69.
Yep.
And I feel like you need a little bit of a peek into Cassie's psyche now.
Oh, you'll get a big peek into my psyche real soon.
Oh, geez.
Oh, well, y'all have already had the peek.
Yeah.
Because you've had that episode.
Yeah.
We're recording this one before that one, but it's
I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, so now, I mean, just the peek into your psyche was really just explaining that it was very important to you to have that episode number.
It was very important.
Yeah.
It's the funniest number.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think I've
so.
pretty much had this idea like pretty soon after we started the podcast.
So you've had this for quite a while.
It's been cooking.
Oh, geez.
And it still took me like 3 weeks to write it, but it's fine. It had to be perfect.
Yeah.
So
perfection. Although actually I sit here saying that as I'm wearing a tank top that says screw perfection.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, I'm a complicated lady, okay? I'm a bundle of contradictions. So, all right, well,
okay.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
No, they're not ready.
Oh.
Okay, you guys, this is a rough one. But in other good news, my next case after this, we're just talking about future, past, and all of the episodes.
Trying to avoid this one.
We might be going international in a sister city.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So good luck trying to figure it out. Or if you're looking for spoilers, though, because we locked down the paste bin. That's right. We're on to you.
We see you.
We thought that you actually had to have the link that we include in the show notes for our references for each episode in order to access that specific paste bin.
Yeah.
But apparently you can just go to our profile or something and pull them all up.
Oops.
So quite a few people were looking ahead on the links and everything for upcoming episodes. And I've had some episodes where I finished them, you know, a like good deal in advance and or I'm just working on it and I start saving my references in there in preparation for the episode. So, our bad.
Oops.
But yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, no freaking way.
Who's doing it? Someone needs to confess. Go to confession.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited that, you know, you guys are excited, but yeah, we've closed that loop. So.
Yeah. No more.
Yeah. And then just a couple of awesome people helping us get the word out about the show that we just wanted to mention and thank. So Greg at Indie Feed Drop aired Cassie's Pittock Mansion episode earlier this month. It came out on his feed just before her birthday.
Aww.
Very exciting. So go check out Scary Time on all of the things.
Scary Time.
Yeah, Scary Time. I'll probably try to put that link in the show notes for you guys. Also, Three's a Crime is dropping our very first Creepy People Chronicles episode on their Summer Crime Showcase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a fun one. I really love those.
Me too. I thought that'd be a really fun one to share.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have a really hard time choosing. All of the episodes are like my babies. So
yeah,
it's really hard to tell one of my babies that I like the other baby more.
Seriously. It's really
hard for me. So by the time this episode comes out, both of these will have been out for a bit, but we wanted to mention it because both will be great places for you to go to find more creepy content from other creators and support more indies that can keep you up all night.
In the bad way?
No, like in a good,
in the scary way?
In the scary way, yeah.
I was thinking naughty things. It's
Yes.
always. No apologies.
Yeah. And then lastly, thank you to everyone who has migrated over from Facebook or Instagram. They've stumbled across our page recently to support our show on Twitter and especially TikTok. Our following has really grown like crazy on both of those platforms recently. So that's pretty
Nice.
exciting. So I don't know, there's probably more business, but I'm officially cutting myself off. That's enough business.
Stop talking at them.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I know.
No. At least it's fun business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just wanted to take a minute just to say thank you to everyone who's been so incredibly kind in supporting our show. And we try to remember to mention, all of these awesome things that people do. And I'm sure we don't hit all of them, but
Yeah.
I thought I could hit a few this time around.
Hit them. Whack them.
Hit them. Yeah.
And we do have a lot of fun on TikTok. So if you're not following us there yet,
I know.
go for it.
It's where we get the most creative.
If you want to see us be weird and nerdy and cool and witchy, go to TikTok. All those things.
All of the things. Yeah. All right, you guys. So I don't really have a strong transition from that. So just going to bring you up and body slam you back down like, I don't know, whoever is doing that these days in the fighting sportsing.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
What, is that still a thing? Is like wrestling still a thing? Like the fake stuff?
I think so.
Or am I supposed to not say
WWE?
it's fake? Did I reveal something? Oh,
Cassie.
it's like saying Santa Claus is fake.
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen, my grandparents knew Roddy Piper, and the fact that he had all of his teeth, like from a very early age, I was fully aware it was fake. Like if you were holding on to that,
Oh, man.
it's time to wake up.
What a transition.
Yeah. Still not great on that. All right. Well, here we go. Sadly, these days in the true crime genre, one of the best resources for us to look to for aspects of the human element of a case is an obituary. Often, an obituary provides information that allows us to tell stories with the necessary nuance and stories that really make an impact. But I'll be honest, it feels a little eerie to read the formal announcement of someone's death in order to know more about them in life.
Yeah.
And because I didn't decide to go easy this week with a corporate crime, that was one of my first stops. In fact, I'm going to just lift unedited directly from one before we really get into the case.
Okay.
Herman Leslie Graham III, also known as Big Herm or Herm.
Oh, Big Herm.
I know. Unexpectedly passed away on Monday, October 26th of 2020 in Salem, Oregon at the young age of 48. In this case, what the obituary leaves out is exactly what we'll be discussing. Because while I'm sure his friends and family didn't want to focus on the details of his tragic and untimely passing, those are the horrific details that bring us here today.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
As usual, you're welcome. Though he'd spent most of his formative years as a child growing up in Mableton, Georgia, Herm would return to his birthplace in Portland as an adult. Before joining the U.S. Navy, he had graduated from Pebblebrook High School. I don't know why Pebblebrook felt really hard to say.
Pebblebrook. Say it 3 times fast.
I won't even know.
Pebblebrook. Pebblebrook.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Surviving Big Herm are many loving relatives, including his elderly father, Herman Jr., 3 siblings, and his own children, including his son, Herman L. Graham IV.
Oh, did they call him Little Herm?
I know, I wish.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe his middle initial, the L, maybe it's Little. Maybe that's his middle
Oh.
name.
Probably not, but
Probably
that's
not.
a nice thought.
I know, I thought that was cute. His relatives dispersed throughout Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, and Dallas, Texas, are only finally receiving any semblance of what you might consider closure. Which I feel like as an outsider, you think of this as somehow being closure, and I just feel like the victim's family probably does not,
Yeah.
you know? No, you don't know.
I
'Cause
don't
I'm gonna tell
know.
you. Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. It's hard to think of a loved one passing away, but to lose even a casual acquaintance in the way that Herb would be disheartening on a level that most of us can't even begin to fathom. On October 26th of 2020, if you think back to what you were doing, it's probably a bit hazy because we were several months into quarantine.
Yeah.
When most of us were likely embroiled in other things like the election and concerns around COVID, the very real fear that I can only imagine every person of color lives with was being brutally realized by Herm's family.
Oh.
The events of the day would unfold forever, leaving it markedly different from any other mundane day in October. So while the nation watched in horror with bated breath and quietly feared a still largely unknown virus spreading rapidly around the country, there was another insidious force that anyone paying attention knows all too well. And it stole the life of Herman Leslie Graham. Fight me. I don't care what the justice system says or what you can prove in court, because apparently that is up for debate.
Ugh.
Just casual microaggressions.
I won't fight you on it.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I will win.
She always, you should see the look she just gave me. It was terrifying.
It's pretty intense,
Oh.
I gather. I'm more than a little angry as I tell you that the charges laid before a defendant don't always match the evil of their deeds. My face is doing more things.
It's pinching. Squinching. Squinching a word?
Squinching.
I just
yeah.
made it a word.
I like it. We're going to keep it. But maybe I should back up because first, if you can't tell from the buildup, this isn't going to be a light episode, mostly because I told you it's not going to be a light episode.
She's
But
not a liar.
Yeah, no, I don't lie. I mean, well, sometimes on accident. It's not one of those times, you guys. But I specifically want to just give you a second to decide before we proceed, because this is a story about racial violence. It's ugly and it's uncomfortable. But if we haven't learned how to push past that feeling for something resembling what the truth of a matter is at this point, then we really don't deserve any of the things that allegedly make this country so great. But I have no strong feelings on the topic.
None.
That fateful day in Salem, Oregon, not Massachusetts, duh, Herman Leslie Graham III was the victim of a hate crime. On October 22nd, 2020.
It's just crazy that those words even come out of your mouth.
You knew exactly where my head was at with that, because my next sentence, I'm just going to repeat that one more time. October 26th, 2020. For those of you in the back.
Ridiculous.
I'll just leave that there so you guys can get real uncomfortable with that date. The worst part is that even in the state that I love, the man who perpetrated the crime wasn't afraid to do it, period. But most egregious, in front of witnesses.
Oh,
And I keep saying the worst or the most egregious, but it's really all just a dumpster fire of terrible shit. So just ignore me when I say the worst or most egregious, because it's all just horrible. You're probably thinking, how does someone commit a violent hate crime in front of witnesses? Good goddamn question, Becky. But actually, girl, do you not watch the news?
probably not.
Yeah. Oh, honey. One of the witnesses, we're going to refer to her as Jane Doe, just like in the court proceedings. This witness, Jane Doe, explained to a courtroom full of people that she had been a passenger in Herm's white BMW on the date of this horrific turn of events. She explained as best she could how the events that brought them into court that day unfolded. And I'm going to preface her account by stating that as a passenger, you're not always paying attention to every little thing that's happening on the road until you're given good reason.
Yeah, totally.
Can we all just baseline agree on that?
That is me 100%. I'm like, oh, how'd we get here?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I have no memory of the
Yeah.
ride home. I can tell you one of the newest trending sounds on TikTok. She believed that Herm may have cut off a neighboring vehicle on the expressway that day. Normally, this is where I'd insert a snide remark about BMW drivers, but we're not entirely sure that's what happened. And to be honest, because it's obviously not a justification for any of what happens, I'm just trying to delay the inevitable.
Yeah. We're ready. Hit us.
Yep. She hadn't been paying close attention at the time. So if that's what occurred, she couldn't be totally sure. She did, however, then witness a seemingly enraged driver who began honking while also hurling bigoted slurs at the driver in the car she inhabited.
Oh my gosh. I mean, get mad, but
Yeah.
then get over it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. GTFO. If you want to know any of the specific verbiage that was used by the perpetrator, you're just going to have to go to the court records, because my heart isn't going to bear the weight of repeating any of it.
I'm sure we can imagine.
Yeah. But apparently, acting like the loud-mouthed piece of shit he is, well, that's not going to cut it. So what is a frustrated, mediocre white man to do when screaming it out just doesn't seem to offload the bile adequately? According to our Jane Doe witness, the man in the gray Volkswagen Golf appeared to be racing towards Herm's vehicle. Now, as a passenger of said vehicle, this is the part where she starts paying attention.
Yeah.
She's very distinctly paying attention because he seems to be planning to try to ram them or run them off the road.
Jesus.
Yeah. Which feels not only pretty extreme, but just a wee bit unhinged.
Yeah. Just a little.
She said that Herm brake checked the other driver,
As you do.
which is pissed off driver speak for anybody not in the know for abruptly applying the brakes.
The get off my ass button.
Absolutely. She said at one point when Graham was stopped at a light as he proceeded from the I-5 ramp onto Mission Street from the right-hand turn lane around the intersection of Mission Street Southeast and Hawthorne Avenue Southeast, that the other driver appeared to be trying to pull up next to Herm's BMW in the neighboring lane, even though Herm's vehicle, the BMW, was in front of him. So he's just trying to douche canoe. Court records indicated that another female Jane Doe witness testified that the other driver continued yelling. This is the only part that I could bring myself to actually quote. And it's just fucking terrible. Fuck you. And you're nothing but a bleep racial slur. And perhaps the most telling, the KKK is gonna come get you.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's bad enough saying that, but saying it over because of road rage, because someone cut you off.
And I mean, that's if he even cut him off. I mean, I assume that this got started by something, but good Lord.
Wow.
I just, fucking not today, Satan.
God, get out of here.
It's
2020. What the
It's actually 2022 now.
Well, now, but like, yeah, when this happened.
I can't. I can't. This isn't even a 2-year-old crime.
Ugh. Okay.
So, because a simple mistake behind the wheel, unintentionally or not, cutting someone off should totally rise to this level of vitriol and violence.
Totally.
So what Cassie said, but with more V words.
All the V words.
Yeah. That feels totally reasonable. And this chud, neo-Nazi wannabe pile of garbage sauce, continued to follow Herm's vehicle because, let's face it, miserable white trash loves company. And an overly dramatic cop-style slow-speed car chase.
Oh, my God.
Finally, Herm decided to pull over in a bid to de-escalate the situation, which I can't say that I recommend, though I cannot stress this enough. It's not something that I say intending to blame the victim. None of this is Herm's fault.
Yeah.
It's not such a crazy idea to think that you might be able to have a more reasonable conversation, just man to man, as it were. But I just know how the story ends, and I want him to go another way so badly.
It just sucks because you're like in your car, people think they're invincible, like they don't care about anybody else for whatever reason. So you think like maybe if you get out and be like, hey, I'm a person, maybe calm down.
Exactly. No, I mean, it really made me think of, and it was just within a few days of having watched this. It's a new show on Netflix where they were talking about the things that people do that it's unconscionable on the internet, like swatting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, what is it about being behind the steering wheel, behind a keyboard that in my dizziest daydreams, never.
No.
I don't
get it. Somebody tell us, because we don't.
Or don't, because actually, like, if that makes sense to you, like, we should not hang out.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk.
Yeah, probably not. As he stopped near the 3300 block of Pipe Bend Place Northeast, holy fucking shit. That's another one.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't think I was going to get that out.
You did, though. Nice job.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, gold star. Graham told his passengers, I'm going to pull over and hopefully he'll go away and maybe he'll pull in. So literally exactly what you were saying, you know, okay, face to face, like we're both, you know, humans, like let's just take this down a notch.
Stop being dangerous because you could kill everyone next to you on the road.
Exactly. Clearly, though, this has been a heated exchange, and I just would have had such a feeling of dread as one of the passengers or the driver already. It just goose pimples. Having experienced road rage that actually rose to potential violence, though admittedly not racially motivated, I think my heart would be beating in my head, in my temples.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell that story maybe when we're all done here. Something to cheer you guys up, because it has that'll be our karmic justice for the universe. The witness described scrolling through her phone as Graham approached the man. Clearly, she was still thinking that cooler heads would prevail. She was startled by what she described as 2 loud booms and the sudden realization that her friend had been shot.
Oh, Jesus.
She looked in the rearview mirror and saw Herm's body on the ground, blood visible as he lay helpless. She actually got out of the car to confront the man. Now,
wow.
She clearly graduated with a dual doctorate in taking no shit and putting fuck bags in their place. It's a hybrid program offered by the esteemed Down Bitch University. At this point, my singular focus would have definitely been 1,000% just not immediately pissing my pants whilst crying in the fetal position on the car floor.
Seriously.
I mean, I guess you can never really know how you would react, but that's pretty much what I picture.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. You're welcome. That visual.
Caitlin pissing her pants.
Yeah. Keep in mind that this is despite the fact that this man was still holding his weapon very much at the ready.
Oh my God. That is so scary.
And this is one of the things that really confuses me about this case. He warned her to get back in the car. And this halted her progress, at least momentarily. I can't imagine the fear, the scattered, racing thoughts running through her mind at just breakneck speed while adrenaline is literally coursing through her. And it kind of blew my mind that he was like, get back in the car instead of just shooting her.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, thank God.
Yeah.
But I just was like, oh God, no, this is going to be like multiple, fatalities. And it's so senseless. It's senseless. I mean, it would be no matter what.
Yeah, it really is. What do you say?
I know. It's really important to know what to say because that's kind of what we do here.
We get really speechless a lot of times.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys like mouth sounds. She did eventually work up her nerve again and approach Herm, though. She wanted to see if she could render him any sort of, type of care or assistance. I mean, in that moment, as a friend especially, but even just for someone on the street that you've witnessed this happening to, I just wouldn't want them to be alone.
Yeah.
Just realizing that she still got out, I would want them to know that someone is there and that they will do whatever they can. It's just horrific. That's when she witnessed the perpetrator kick a .50 caliber handgun on the ground near Herm's feet. And if that gives you a bit of a chill, you aren't the only one. And it should, even though it's a little murky as to why at this point in the story. Although I think probably you can do some quick math.
Yeah. I'm like, I won't spoil it because I always do that to you.
Well, I think, you kind of walk that one through and you can figure out what. Well, we're going to get right into it. How about that?
Let's get into it.
Nearby, multiple calls had been placed to 911 regarding the shooting. Upon arriving at the scene around 1:30 p.m., police found the victim, Herman Leslie Graham, dead. officers did locate and take the weapon into evidence as part of their initial crime scene investigation. Graham's autopsy would later confirm that at 48 years old, he had succumbed to the multiple shots fired into his body, which feels like another great example of science proving shit we already knew. But I digress. Though that was hardly the only dramatic turn of events at the scene of the crime or in the ensuing court case. The perpetrator, Manuel, we're going to read from him like a manual. I hate his stupid guts. I'm assuming Manuel Alicia North didn't look into pronunciation. Super don't fucking care. He tried to claim self-defense. I know you're shocked, right?
Yeah, the guy who chased down another vehicle. Okay.
Oh, yeah. North told law enforcement that Herm had pulled a gun on him in a failed attempted carjacking. Bruh, if someone currently has the pleasure of owning and driving a BMW, he ain't coming for your V-dub.
Seriously, that's what I was going to say.
Just saying.
But I was like, nah, she's got this.
I'm pretty sure that's just facts. If you're a car guy that wants to debate the merits of what I can only assume was a beater piece of shit VW Golf over a Beamer, I'll see you in the DMs. And then I'll block you, because what a stupid fucking thing to argue about.
Yeah.
I know in real life there's going to be a trial and the like, but every once in a while with a truly dumb and pathetic story like this, wouldn't it just feel good to know the cops just immediately cuffed him and said, broski, your story stinks. We'd like to go ahead and get you started on the introductions to your new forever cellmate and all of his besties.
That's not what happened, is it?
No, I mean, not exactly. Yeah. It'd be so cool. But like I said, I guess the law and police procedure. So somehow I assume they continued their investigation with what have to be incredible poker faces. How do you listen to that story and not piss your pants laughing?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. North provided other information to the police. North provided other information to the police that didn't quite check out. I know you're shocked that this irrationally angry white supremacist would lie, but apparently he did. Kind of a few times.
Weird.
I know. It's so ridiculous. I'm sort of happy to see that he's got a balance with the court. It's not enough, but I don't think any of us are surprised at this point. But just wait, because I think some of the sheer ass hattery will actually surprise you. It's really something.
I like that, sheer ass hattery.
Mm-hmm. Always use your whole ass. Don't half-ass a bunch of things. Always use your whole ass for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The whole of it.
Mm-hmm. You ruined it. You're like, I improved
I made
upon
it better. Thank you.
As you might have guessed, this is not a story about a guy who briefly transformed into a heinous monster out of the clear blue sky. Nuh-uh.
Mm-mm.
Because again, this is IRL, not Grand Theft Auto. And that's just not an idea based in reality, it turns out. As is literally always the case, there's a clear pattern. And in hindsight, wouldn't you know, it sure does appear that it did also seem to be escalating.
Weird.
Oh my God. If only at some point a phrase had been coined for that phenomenon, right?
Is there one?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's literally just those two words smashed together. Yeah, you'll hear them say a pattern of escalation or an escalation pattern. Yeah. It's literally a thing, but I don't think that law enforcement has actually heard of it a lot of times, which is So strange. But
so you're telling me this guy didn't just come from like petting puppies and like drawing unicorns and all of a sudden shot somebody?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got you.
I know. I guess he was building up to it. So North had a history of road rage with a long list of charges, both traffic and criminal offenses, having occurred in Lane County as well as others. It's like he likes to travel for his crimes.
He just drives around road raging on everybody.
I guess. But this literally was not the first road rage incident. So it's kind of hilariously fucking terrible that you say that. We're talking reckless driving, unlawful possession of a firearm, careless driving, unsafe passing. Yeah, no shit, I'll say. Felony elude, hit and run, criminal mischief, and reckless endangering. Kind of starting to make sense why he was so eager to kick that gun away from his person, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure they won't do any sort of forensic testing and be able to tell that's what happened. Oh, and, the witnesses.
Right? You might have your fingerprints on it?
Yeah.
Did he wipe those off real quick?
I don't know. Like, what in the... This guy was either the latest in a long, fucked up history of inbred progeny or dropped on his motherfucking head.
All of it. You know what I've noticed?
Yeah.
Racist people are not that smart.
Yeah.
I
do feel like that's another pattern that tends to escalate.
Yeah.
Escalate in like more dumbness with more racism.
Ugh. Like you can be dumb, that's fine. Just don't be racist.
Yeah. Ideally, you could just not be either, but if you have to pick one, definitely pick dumb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Normally, I'd assume this was all excluded from the various evidence and testimony that the jury heard. However, the prosecution was able to argue it showed this was clearly part of a pattern of violent behavior. Like a escalation pattern, perhaps?
Oh.
'Cause duh.
'Cause duh needs to go on a shirt.
Yeah, probably. Pretty much. Of course, John Callego for the defense claimed that North's history should be suppressed in order to avoid being unfairly prejudicial to North. Sweet baby Jesus. In a case about racial prejudice, my dude, read the room.
Wow. Did you see my face? She saw my face. I was like, oh.
I know this is when I kind of wish that we would record from start to finish.
Yeah.
And not just for the tarot video, because I just...
What the fuck? That. Mm-hmm.
The judge, however, allowed the various incidents between 2015 and 2018 to be presented at trial. So, just like 5 years of, a laundry list of different crimes and violent acts and, just that's fine.
Jeez.
But there are actually a couple of other lies he told that are just so laughably easy to fact check. It honestly is just the criminal equivalent of the facepalm emoji. Bud, come on. What?
Come on.
So, North told police he owned a construction company called CAD Northwest. When they attempted to verify this extremely simple and super verifiable information, essentially just biographical data, by reaching out to the business by phone, they were actually transferred to an entirely different business and told that the company in question, CAD Northwest, had been purchased by them. So you don't own that business.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Weird flex.
Did he think that they just weren't going to check it out?
Probably.
Just take your word for it.
Probably, because it gets worse on like these very verifiable things, and you are just...
Murderers don't lie.
Yeah, no. I mean, no, because if you're going to pick something horrible to do, like, you're definitely going to just pick the one.
Yeah.
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 This new parent company didn't have an office in Eugene, which is where North is from. They also had no record of him even being employed there, so he couldn't even just say that he, like, overstated his influence.
Wow.
Which is a pretty key piece of evidence in light of how he laid out his story for that day.
Okay.
He told police that he had been on his way to a warehouse near Pipe Bend Place to pick up supplies for his latest construction gig.
In his VW Golf?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
okay.
like...
Got you.
Just like a little tiny, like, shopping bag of construction supplies. Because, you know, that's usually how people buy those.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, like, the size and the quantity.
Oh, my God. It's just... It's so ridiculous.
Honestly, it's almost too much. And then there's just so much. There's still some really... There's so much good. I'm going nonverbal again, and there's just a lot of really terribly good stuff left still.
Okay.
Somehow.
Terribly good.
Yeah, terribly good.
Yeah. All this uncomfortable laughter over here.
Yeah. Now, this next part, I'm just lifting directly from one of the articles included in my source material, because I definitely can't paraphrase this any better.
Okay.
Just as the company had no record of him working for them, the business did not have an account with North's alleged company's name. Without the name, it was difficult for North to prove his story of buying supplies for a job that the company that owns his old company has no record of. Confused yet?
So confused.
Basically, he told law enforcement that he was working for the company that he had previously owned, and they were like, crazy person, say what? North is listed on Oregon's Secretary of State's business filings as the registered agent for North Star Martial Arts, LLC, located in West Salem. Unfortunately for him, that did not help his case because karate is a lame alibi.
Not if you're doing karate in the garage.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Listen, you're no Will Ferrell, okay?
Uh-huh.
Right now, creepy people, I know what you're saying. Okay, but he was truthful about everything else, though, right, Caitlin? Not by a fucking long shot. North also had an, air quotes, witness.
Okay.
North had a passenger in his vehicle that gave officers a contradictory account of events when compared to those in Herm's car.
Weird.
Yeah. North's witness seemingly backed up his story, stating that Herm had been the aggressor, driving recklessly, and North only acted in self-defense. Because if somebody cuts you off, apparently they think you should shoot them. North told the police he was a hitchhiker that he had picked up.
The witness? What?
It's so fucking unreal. That's not even the part that's fucking wild. If you're going, what? At that?
There's more?
North told the police that the passenger was a hitchhiker he had picked up, leaving out their family ties. This was North's son. He tried to pass off his son as a witness / random hitchhiker. Reactions.
What? So, I mean, I guess I sort of see the logic. Like, If it was his son, obviously that person would be on his side. If it was a stranger, if a stranger is corroborating his story, it's a little more believable.
Right. But do you think they're not going to figure out?
But yeah.
Like, they're going to ask for his name.
They're going to know.
They're going to know. How will they know? Trust me, they're going to fucking know.
Wow. And then he's saying that he's working, but he's picking up hitchhikers?
Yeah. I know, it makes so much sense.
All
if
right.
if you squint and you really don't think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The son gave a different report to police initially than he did in his grand jury testimony. The Marion County DA filed a motion to address the discrepancy in his provided statements, and it seems like this is when their carefully crafted deception fell apart. Which actually, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, did you really think you would get this past them? But also, guys, he made it to grand jury testimony, getting it past them. So, I don't love that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, while we're on the topic of juries, jury selection lasted for 6 days prior to the start of the trial. Spoiler, they found him, and this is my absolute favorite new phrase. They found him supercalifragilistic extra fucking guilty.
That's great. Did they say that?
So it wasn't officially recorded in the trial transcript. I think the court recorder must have just missed that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because definitely I can see a judge saying that and then the big old hammer smack. Yeah.
The gavel.
That's what it is, a gavel.
I definitely did not make this up myself. 2 photos of Herm were shown in the courtroom at North's sentencing. One simply a smiling photo. The other of Herman Leslie Graham III in his casket.
Oh, damn.
North was convicted on second-degree murder, but not the first-degree bias crime, for which he was indicted and ultimately later acquitted of.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember I said that it would be up for debate what the insidious cause of this terrible crime was? Hey, guys, in case you were wondering, it seems pretty out there up front on Main Street that this was racially motivated.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Go on, please.
A third charge, consisting of unlawful use of a weapon, was also dismissed because America, land of the free guns and forced birth.
Ew.
I know.
Ew.
I know. North declined to speak at the sentencing, merely shaking his head when addressed by the judge, because apparently he was fresh out of bullshit and hateful slurs, which I assume was a first for him. On June 1st, 2022, Manuel Alicia North was sentenced by Marion County Judge Cortland Geyer to life in prison with a minimum sentence of 25 years, just what Deputy District Attorney Matthew Kemme asked for. Because for God's sake, it was a slam dunk from start to finish, possibly the easiest decision he's probably ever made as a sitting judge. Though it's worth noting that per ORS 163.115, North is given credit for time served.
Okay.
Time served is one of those phrases where I'm like, it makes sense, but I fucking hate it. But the judge who should apparently change his last name to a hyphenate of "I don't fuck with racists," also agreed to stipulate that he would not be eligible for alternative programming. Because, and I'm in no way sorry, sir, shitbag, but to say that you're a despicable and deranged murderer is quite an understatement. And I wouldn't want there to be any confusion that somehow allows you to obtain an iota of special privilege or consideration in literally any regard.
No.
I hate you so much right now.
I can't tell.
For the defense, Kalego, it seems, simply agreed, not pushing for a lesser sentence. Wise choice. Which, good, because fuck right off with that idea, first of all, but also he's still eligible for parole in 25 years. So maybe just take that filthy fucking sliver of a prospect and just run away, tail tucked appropriately. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Herm's sisters, Christy Lewis and Kimberly Lawson, felt their brother's death was, of course, completely preventable. A senseless tragedy leaving his children without a father because of a remorseless killer. The judge spoke about his decision to allow prior road rage incidents into the trial, stating, "They were so frightened by what happened. It struck me that they were frightened that exactly what had happened to Mr. Graham might have happened to them." Further reflecting that there were so many opportunities for you to have learned a different way of conducting yourself.
Yeah.
Explaining that he would impose the recommended sentence of life in prison, and I quote, "without hesitation." And we don't really impose the death penalty here in Oregon, which is a whole ass can of worms. But so we're not even going to not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. Not today. But that's about as satisfying an end to a case like this as you might be able to get.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard about this case at all, or find yourself wondering why there hasn't been more coverage, I think the answer feels quite obvious. Gabby Petito's case highlighted the issue at its core, and it's truly awful what happened to her at the hands of that heinous skid mark, Brian Laundrie, that she loved. Missing white woman syndrome is this vicious cycle. The media covers the cases they know will make our hearts flutter and have us furiously chasing down the latest headlines. And as such, those are the cases that get the most coverage. And round we go.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need to be more intentional in this regard, and that starts with demanding more well-rounded and inclusive coverage in the news. Because here's the thing, I think the vast majority of people care about these stories.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't care. Even as consumers of, news and, and true crime content, we've sort of been typecast into these roles where somehow that's all we care about. And it's fucked up and it's wrong.
Yeah. So we care about these stories when we hear about them.
Right.
But the problem is we have to go and look for them. They're not readily available.
And I will tell you that this is someone who was murdered in broad daylight with witnesses and all of these crazy details of the case. And it really took a lot of digging to kind of find as many articles as I did about this.
Wow.
And you can find a ton of information about a lot of other cases that I would argue they don't have any impact on, what's happening in the world today. They're very, very sad. And I think that it's important that we share all victim stories, but I get so frustrated when I'm looking at this case going, why are we not hearing about this? We live in this state.
Yeah.
This happened like 30 minutes outside of Portland.
Yeah.
But I do want to shift focus to something that we can point to as a positive, even if it feels like literally the world's smallest consolation prize now that it's all said and done. Virginia Beretta is the breaking news and public safety reporter for the Statesman Journal. She covered this case and penned a number of the resources that I found most helpful. And go and follow her on Twitter immediately, if not sooner. I will go ahead and tag her Twitter handle on the show notes. I'll try to, do that so that we can point you in the right direction to her. If you're in the state of Oregon, I do think that it's important to try to look for some of these journalists that, I don't know, call me crazy. They act like journalists.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go and sit in court and take notes and they request transcripts and I don't know, crazy shit like that.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, wild. So, all right. Well, that's the end of the case, but we'll get into the tarot here because that's really our bright spot. We've got quite the setup today. It was a lot of work to get this together.
Yeah,
but it's fun. I got new crystals for my birthday, and I wanted them to make a special appearance.
Present them.
In our tarot video. So,
okay. I know you said like one shuffle, but I did 3.
I mean, whatever feels good. Whatever's clever.
I feel so clever right now.
It's just so clever, you guys. Okay.
All right. Looking for some insight here into this ridiculous, senseless crime.
Oh, this is interesting.
The Star. It's the naked woman pouring out 2 jugs, and her jugs are also out. We've gotten this one before too. I'm pretty sure.
Have we? I was wondering if we had. Okay, so I don't really know about this card. So the Star says keywords: happiness, hope, light at the end of the tunnel, good fortune. This lovely card often portrays a nude female figure in or beside a pool of water. In some decks, she pours water from 2 jugs or chalices. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, she pours the contents of one pitcher into a stream and the other onto the ground, showing the connection between the 2 feminine elements, water and earth. Stars shine in the background, sometimes in a circle or a halo-like formation around her. The naked woman represents truth and purity.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The jugs contain the waters of life. We see shooting stars as harbingers of good luck. We wish upon a star, for the star is a universal symbol of hope. Getting this card is like looking up at the bright, starry sky on a clear night and seeing all the magnificence of the universe. This is a time of fulfillment, good fortune, creative inspiration, and spiritual growth, when you receive help from unforeseen forces and wishes come true.
Aww. I feel like that sort of relates to what we're talking about because we're trying to talk about these cases that don't get attention.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like this is a situation where I want to take up one of the tarot tips that I don't think it's one that's come out yet for the Patreon, but I've got a laundry list of different things that you can try and, just as you sort of get acquainted with or have a different need for your tarot reading, different things like that. I have an idea for this, but I'm going to read the extra excerpt and then we can decide.
Okay.
And then we've still got the interpretation too, because that's all literally just the card. That's that first part of the description and everything. Hope, which whispered from Pandora's box, Only after all the other plagues and sorrows had escaped is the best and last of all things. Okay, fuck. I hate to admit it when you're right. Like, because I was feeling so off about it, but yeah, okay. The star signals an end to problems and the start of a new, happier phase of life. I think of it as the light at the end of the tunnel card. You've been preparing for this time and now you've arrived. Well, they did just have the trial and sentencing. The star shows you're in harmony with your life purpose, using your gifts beneficially. It signifies inspiration, intuition, inner wisdom, and joy. In a reading about money, the star signals an improvement in your financial position. Help comes from both the invisible world and the material one. Remain hopeful. Your dreams can be achieved. If the reading is about your job, you may be moving into the spotlight, getting recognition for your efforts. You're the star, and it's your turn to shine. You feel good about yourself and confident in your place in the universe. Success lies just around the corner. In a reading about love, this card represents a bright, beautiful relationship that inspires you and brings you joy. The wish you made has or will soon come true. Oh, there's another excerpt. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. That's Helen Keller.
Oh. I feel like that was really a card for you and the work that you're trying to do.
Oh, God.
It's true.
Oh.
It's true. I mean, you're trying to shed light on things that, I mean, people nowadays are talking about them, but we just need to keep talking about them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe.
And
I
then
don't
there's
know.
hope at the end of the day.
Well,
it was really funny in the beginning, though, when it was saying something about truth. And that guy was just the worst liar.
He just, I mean, not even, it's like quantity, quality, all of it. Just all garbage.
Yeah.
I hate it.
That's pretty interesting. That was like, yeah, truth.
I hate it. Oh, you know what, though? This worked out the way it was supposed to. Because I won't do the tarot tip because now I feel like I got what I needed to, I think, from the reading.
I think you usually do.
Yeah, I think I got what I needed. But this is perfect because we'll end on the story.
Okay.
Because this is karmic justice. So this was actually now it's been a few years ago. I was driving home from work and, you know, it's just middle of the day. I think I was just going home on my lunch break to come and let the pod dogs out. This was before the podcast, but they've always been pod dogs. So I was just kind of, I wasn't in a major hurry. Just headed there to take care of my puppies. Just little puppy babes. And I have this person that, all of a sudden they, from the right-hand turn lane, they get behind me I'm like 2 minutes from home. So they get behind me and they just start following me really aggressively. And I'm like, I don't care for that. It took me actually a couple of minutes to really notice like how aggressive they were being, and they were really getting like carried away. And I was like, oh, that's gross. I don't like that. Him and his girlfriend were like freaking out. They're like, like when you like throw up your hands, like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is actually next to 2 different elementary schools and a high school.
Wow.
It's the middle of the day. And, I was already going over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Over the regular speed limit, not even over the school limit. Okay. I wasn't always as wise as I am now. Okay. So they're just freaking out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are really freaking me out. And I'm getting closer to my apartment and getting really stressed out because I'm like, I don't want them to know where I live. They're crazy. Yeah. They're like cursing at me. And I see the woman take out her phone. And I'm like, okay, is she going to call the cops to tell them that I'm not speeding fast enough? Like, what is happening? I was so confused. It was so bizarre. So she actually takes out her phone and she's recording me.
Wow.
Very weird. And I'm like, I don't really know what you hope this is going to be evidence of. Okay. So I get close to where the first turnoff for my complex is, and I was like, oh, hell no. If I turn here, they're going to know exactly where I live. So I went to the next, like, regular street corner, and, you know, it was kind of, as I'm approaching, I'm preparing to turn down that road and go in through the backside of the complex. Well, as I take the turn around the corner, she literally, and I think at this point she's still filming with her, you know, camera phone. She literally takes this almost completely full still. I'm like, what is that? A Trenta? I don't know. An entire like iced coffee.
Oh.
And throws it at my window.
What?
Yeah. Well, it hits like the backside of my car. So of course I didn't see her preparing to do this. I just realized what happened like as it was happening, but it scared the crap out of me because I'm like, oh my God, what just hit my car?
Yeah.
What the hell? And then it happened. She's like screaming at me and like cursing and all this. Well, it was stop and go traffic that day.
Oh, no.
And they were so focused on me. Like I'm turning, you know, at the right hand, headed in a totally different direction. Boyfriend, passenger, neither of them, they're paying attention. So then they immediately just like slam into the car ahead of them.
Oh my God.
I'm talking like at the intersection. I'm literally turning right here. They hit the car right there. They didn't even make it through the intersection.
Wow. What idiots.
Yeah.
Over what?
I don't know.
Even if you're pissed off. So I have a confession to make. Oh. I'm a bit of a road rager.
I could see that.
With good reason. I'm a reasonable person. If you don't let me merge when I'm literally just trying to merge like a normal human with my blinker on. I'm not trying to cut anybody off. I'm just trying to merge. Mm-hmm. And you speed up and like get in another lane to get around me and you be reckless.
No.
I'm in a road rage at you. I might lay on my horn for, you know, the entire time days. I'm behind you and flip you off and yell at you. Yeah. So I do that kind of thing, but I would never. And I always like, sure, I'll ride your butt a little, but I'm always at a safe distance with my foot like ready to break.
You're literally trying to endanger anyone's life.
I don't want to ram anybody. I don't want to kill anybody. Yeah. I just want to flip you off a little and kind of irritate you.
Yeah.
So
get it out of your system.
Someone did that to me the other day, and I did my usual lay on the horn, flipping off, you know, thing. And like, this just happened like the other day. And it happened before too, I think like last year sometime. And the guy tried to get me to pull over. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I am staying in my car. I don't care how mad I am at you. I'm not pulling over to talk to you.
No, not in 100 million, especially 1,000 now. Billion, trillion years.
Not doing it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. So I'm like, I feel almost like I maybe just need to calm down a little and don't
I mean,
get
it's
myself
tough,
killed.
Though, because, well, and that's just it. Like, you shouldn't be worried. As a woman, as a person of color, just as a human, you shouldn't be worried that, like, maybe you don't lay on your horn or whatever and, like, piss somebody off. But, like, that just should never result in your death.
No.
It's not okay.
No. Or even a car accident. Like, none of that should ever happen over
car
something
accidents
dumb
are going to happen, though.
That happened in a car. Like, I don't get it. But
it's because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be real life.
I've just been trying to repeat to myself, I'm better than you. I am better than you. Your car is ugly and disgusting. That. Mine is amazing.
Yeah.
You can cut me off all you want, and I'm not going to get mad.
All of your clothes smell like farts.
Yeah. So
I know, God. Sorry, guys. I'm like 11.
We'll try to be better.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I get it. People get enraged behind the wheel. It
I'm
happens.
also not going to waste a full-ass iced coffee. Absolutely not.
I know.
No.
I was like, wow, your day just like really went down the tubes.
Yeah.
You feel good about those choices? Yeah, I know.
Damn.
And I did. I pulled over for a second because I realized that there must have been a police officer right around somewhere in the area. They showed up real quick.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So I hope that person got ticketed and everything. But I stopped because even though I was like literally shaking and I was so angry and I was scared, I was like, okay, I should probably make sure that nobody's hurt.
Aww.
Just so that like if I need to like call 911, you know, there's other people around, but you know, I don't know. You feel responsible in that situation, even though they are definitely the asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're the witness, too, to the assholery. So
yeah. This is my am I the asshole? And I'm just too lazy to get on Reddit. So, and I don't think I'm the asshole.
Well,
So.
I wonder if they're listening right now. If they're listening, I hope you're better.
Yeah.
You know?
Have the day you deserve.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. But I feel like it's fitting.
All right. Well,
Okay. Are we ready?
Was that it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
Okay.
I think that was a very hopeful card, even though it didn't like completely relate to the case itself.
Yeah.
I think it did relate to what we're
think
trying
so.
to do.
The
So,
message,
yeah,
the bigger
message.
picture, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. All right,
All
fine.
Have a creepy ass day. See you next Tuesday.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Don't road rage. Be safe.
So, for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at pnwhauntsandhomicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'.
Hallelujah. You racist piece of shit.